Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. Today we are reviewing Ready to Love Season 3, Episode 4 called Boss Moves. Before we get started with the video, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. All right, guys. So this week's episode is called Boss Moves, and the men are in power on this episode. So we started off with Naya and Chris standing. I think they were at the bar.
Yeah.
And Chris said, "Could you sense that I wanted to kiss you?" I think he said last night. I guess it was the night before. On their date. And Naya just leans in for a kiss.
Gave him a smooch.
I'm going to just be completely honest. Naya and Chris can go and go home.
Man, I said the same thing.
Like, they can go ahead and go home with each other.
Right. Just call it, thanks, guys.
Call it a thing. Because they're just, I don't see them entertaining anybody else.
Right.
And, match made. Has that happened on other seasons? I know you don't know.
Yeah,
y'all. Has that happened on other seasons? Like, I feel like I should watch past seasons, but I don't have that kind of time in my day. So if y'all can just tell me, does that happen? Like, do people just go home? So
I'm gonna assume not.
I mean, but if the goal is to find love,
you're right.
I found it, what am I doing here with y'all?
You're right.
So next up, we saw Simone steal Jay from Joy. Or is that not what you have next?
I don't know what I have next, but I'm trying to remember that part.
Jay and Joy were sitting there having a conversation. I think it was Jay anyways. I wrote Jay.
Yeah.
And Simone comes over and ask him, can he come walk with her? She said it as if it was an emergency.
Oh, that was a flashback from the first episode. Yeah.
I don't remember that happening in the first episode.
You don't?
Nope.
Yeah. That was a flashback from the first episode. What I have is the pool date.
Oh, I had one more thing before the pool date. Adriana stealing Calviny from Denise.
Oh, yeah. That happened.
That's just fueling the fire between the two.
Yeah, I think they just beefing.
I mean,
it's funny.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so pool date. You can talk about that.
Pool date. So we had Simone, Denise, and Adriana with a few of the guys.
I have the guys as Rashid, Calfani, and Edwin.
And Edwin, the chef.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the point. And Adriana had Rashid. I want to say Simone was Simone was there, and Edwin was sitting down with each other. Denise and Calfani was over, at the pool talking and everything. But Adriana had told Rashid at that moment that Denise had called him narcissist, yes. And he took offense to it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the point in Adriana telling him that.
The point was the men are in power. And if I can influence just two guys, because she had Edwin there and Rashid there, if she can influence them to send Denise home, nobody else is like, I don't like the guys that you like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as much as Denise is.
Yeah.
At least as far as what we've seen.
Right.
So it's like you throwing salt in Denise's game. Like, it's a strategy.
It's definitely a strategy, but I feel like it could backfire on her.
It could.
And also, I feel like that is what's going to hurt Denise in the long run because, she's so aggressive and then calling this man a narcissist, basing it off of her past relationships.
Yeah.
And
it's like, if he's a narcissist, you just don't deal with him.
Right. That's the one thing I don't get. Like, if he's so bad to you, why does it matter? He's on here to find love. So why does it matter? You just stay away from him.
Right. I would just continue mentioning his name in the bottom.
Yeah.
But like, Denise feels angry, and maybe I'm projecting anger. She is aggressive, and aggression translates into anger a lot. Like you're upset about something, and that's why you're so aggressive.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I'm saying the word angry. But I feel like Denise had some issues. She said she was missing for 4 days.
Right.
Because of the ex, and she thought she was going to die. I'm assuming it was abuse.
Yeah.
And not just, I mean, it's got to be some form of abuse, obviously. But I feel like that was a projection. Rashid might be a good guy. Rashid might be a bad guy. But if you get bad guy vibes from him, but someone else doesn't, you just steer clear of that person.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just curious to see how this affects both of them. I think
Adriana and
Denise. I think it's gonna affect Denise the most.
Because Adriana, I'm not gonna say she's a guy favorite, but Adriana is likable amongst a lot of the guys.
Yeah. And Denise just comes off as she has her eyes on one guy, and it's like nothing else anybody else can say to her or want to say to her. Especially Rashid, because he was hurt by the colorism, light skin, dark skin type deal. And I think what's funny is Edwin never said anything.
Because Edwin is like, I am middle of the road brown. I remember in college, somebody said to me that if there was light skin versus dark skin, I could go for either team. So Edwin might feel that way.
Yeah.
And I mean, I hate that in 2020, we're still talking about colorism, but it's just one of those things. Yeah. And Edwin is just staying out of the conversation.
It's just one of those things, man. But that's pretty much all I have about at the pool with them. Denise was very aggressive when they was playing volleyball or water, whatever.
It was volleyball in the water, in the pool.
In the pool. She's competitive. She's a track coach, so it made sense. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. That's all
like Adriana wanted it to be fun, and she was like, Denise sucked all the fun out of it. And I mean, I can see it. It's an issue. It's going to be an issue between those two. But in my opinion, between those two, Denise is going to lose every time.
Right. I feel that way as well.
That's what I see. What do you got up next?
I don't know where Winter came from, but it seems like she has this one dream with every man.
No, it's the same guy.
Is it?
I think so.
No, it's a different guy.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because who's she talking to? Jay.
I don't know.
I feel like she said she had a dream about jumping in the pool.
She did.
With their clothes on the last episode.
She did. Let me see. I'm pulling it up now.
Maybe when she had that dream. And then this episode, she was talking to Jay and had the same dream. To me, it's like her game ain't that tight. You have,
I didn't write down who she said it to.
Or you having the same dream.
Oh, she just said with one of the guys. I didn't put.
I guess that was him.
I didn't put who it was. I just put one of the guys.
She wasn't talking to Jay. She was talking to somebody else when she said that last time.
I would hope that she's not saying that to like different people, and because like they talk, they literally go in a room at the end of the night and talk. Like that could come up.
Yeah.
So I hope you're wrong.
Yeah, I hope so.
Not saying that you are. I hope you are. Yeah. For her sake.
But I like their conversation. They really got Jay and Winter, they really dug into things about them.
I don't remember their conversation.
Yeah, it was brief. It was like really, really quick. But the one thing that stood out was I practice gratitude. I think that's a strong trait for a person. I think that's a very good thing for a person, and for them to like step back and actually talk with each other. Because Winter noticed something was on his eye, and You know what I'm saying? Just really kind of paying attention to him. So I really appreciated that part and everything. What was next for you?
Alex and Brian going paddleboarding.
Yeah. They didn't know what they was doing.
I saw myself in Brian.
Man.
Because I was like, man, the time it was ever like, let's go paddleboarding, I would be like, nope. You're not gonna have me out here looking dumb.
Man, it's all right. Shoot. I was like, man, YOLO.
You would be willing to be out there looking dumb.
Yeah.
Like Alex was.
Look, I have my little life vest on and I'll be out there just paddling.
I would be like, this is a workout and I am not
I'll
interested.
be like, how you do it real quick? Okay, cool. I got it.
So during their conversation while they were out paddleboarding or in the time on that date, they had a discussion. We did learn that Brian has a daughter.
Yep.
I think we already knew that from the first episode, but like
so.
It was reiterated again that he has a daughter and his daughter does not live in Houston.
Yeah.
Not sure where she lives, but she's not in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alex kind of got into her being emotionally unavailable a little bit and talking about triggers. And one of the things that she mentioned as a trigger, I absolutely agree with.
Mm-hmm.
When she said that guys taking their phone and putting it face down like bothers her. And I can absolutely understand it. Like, it feels like you're trying to hide something. Like the most delicate part of your phone is the screen and you want to put it down on something to scratch it up. That just doesn't make sense to me. Like, what are you hiding that you need to turn your phone face down? You don't want me to mistakenly see who's calling? Like, what is it?
Yeah. And I saw her point in that. And then my initial thought after that was, why pull your phone out?
I mean, but if you're in a relationship.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. Like, I don't think that I didn't see a lot of phone interaction on this resort. Yeah. So my assumption is that they've been asked to leave their phones in the room.
Right.
But I think she was going more so into
like in a relationship. I get that part, but I was like, I tried to think back on what I did with my phone, but most of the time my phone's not on me.
Yeah, you're terrible.
It's around me, but it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you never know where your phone. I don't want to say you never know where your phone is, but your phone is not. It's number one, never on ring.
Right.
Number two, never on your person. And number three, sometimes in Lily's food truck.
Yeah. Right.
Like, we have to ask Google to find your phone on a consistent basis at this point in life.
Yeah. The one thing that stood out, another thing that stood out is at the end of their date, Alex and Brian, they went to kiss. He asked for a kiss, I believe. Mm-hmm. And Alex had food in her mouth. Now, only thing I was thinking was, Alex, don't talk with food in your mouth.
Well, she had. If I remember, he asked for the kiss. She finished it, and then she kissed him, and she still she had unchewed food in her mouth. She was like, "This is whatever meat on a cracker or cheese on a cracker. I'm gonna eat this, and I'm gonna give you this kiss."
I thought
maybe that was a defense mechanism to make sure there was no tongue.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know, but I thought that was cute, man, and you can tell the couples are starting now to couple off.
I think Alex and Brian can go home too.
I don't know yet, though.
Brian has made some concessions with other women, and we'll get into one of those later.
Yeah.
But it seems Alex is sold.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the same. It's not two-sided like Naya and Chris.
Right.
But Alex is like, Brian is my man. Brian's not going home. That's a perfect segue into Alicia.
Yeah. Alicia,
did I write anything about what they did?
Alicia and Brian?
Yeah, I just wrote that it ended with snacks. That felt like such a mom thing. Yeah. You don't come to my room and get some snacks.
She tried to lure me in this shit. So Alicia and Brian later on that night had a date. I think they was out by the pool. They talked a little bit. Alicia asked the same question. or a similar question she asked David. How does he feel about, having kids, and what's his, his take on it and stuff like that. Brian gave the correct answer as I would take care of them. They're cool, and then he started to talk about how she looks like the mom that will, like, he asked about her kids, I believe is what happened. Mm-hmm. And he was like, you look like the mom that keeps them in line. She's like, yeah, they very respectful. And then he was like, you probably smack me on the back of the head too. I'm skipping through it because that's not the interesting part to me.
I felt that way too, though.
What?
That she might hit him.
Yeah, yeah. Like she reminds me of
a mom.
Like she's definitely had kids for a long time.
Mm-hmm. And she's everybody's mama.
Yeah.
Like the neighborhood kids can come to her house and she they mama too.
Right,
I feel that.
That's who she is.
Mm-hmm. That's not me.
So at the end, he walked her back to her room. Mm-hmm. And
that's where the snacks were offered.
Right. She invited him in, said, hey, I got snacks. Then she asked him, did he want to watch a movie with her? He said, yeah, give me about 20 minutes or so. I'll be back. When he left, he went to Alex's room and went to go talk to her.
And loud mouth Shay.
Shay going home, man. Shay we have yet to see Shay sit down and just have one-on-one conversation with anybody or be a part of conversation with her getting to know anybody.
Right.
At this point.
Correct.
But everybody else, I feel like, has.
Yeah, I can't think of another person that has not been able, like that hasn't entertained a person and at least made, even if it's negative or positive, like made some type of impact or impression on the other person.
But nosy Shay.
Shay just feels like she's just there to go tell it.
Right. Or that's what it seems like her role is on the show.
Well, she said, don't do it in front of me because that's my job.
When did she say that?
She said that in her confessional, that was her job.
Yeah.
To go tell it, essentially. I don't know. And you pointed this out, and I was thinking the same thing. How did he go past them in the hall? Or they go past him in the hall and him not see?
He had to see them. Like, he had to see them because they always, like, I'm assuming, I don't know how Shay even, like.
How did Shay get Alicia's attention, like knocking on her door without being heard? Because in a hotel, and I know this is a resort, but equivalent to a hotel, when you knock on somebody's door, the hallway hears it.
Right. If you hearing somebody knocking on the door and talking to somebody.
The talking part, okay, whatever. But I at least would have heard you knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Like, and looked at him and like, who in the hallway?
Right. So we said all of that to say Shay went to go, while Brian and Alex was at the door talking, Brian leans in, gets a couple kisses from Alex. And Shay, in the meantime, is going to Alicia's door, getting Alicia to come out and look and see what Brian and Alex is doing. So it's all, to me, it's like, why? Like, I get it, you know what I'm saying? But you're here for a purpose, talking about Shay, and Brian knows, like, he basically chose who, he went
to see who he wanted to see.
Right, exactly. So,
and that's why I say maybe they need to just go home too.
Right.
Because he made his decision.
Yeah, he definitely
his decision
did.
was not Alicia.
He definitely did. And it doesn't look like it's anything towards Alicia. Alex is there.
Alex is who he wants.
Yeah.
Like, you don't entertain someone that you don't want when someone that you do is over there.
Do you think he had the intentions of coming back?
Absolutely not.
No. I don't either, man. I don't think he intended to come back at all. I wanted to talk more about, I think it's Winter and Jay,
What do you have about Winter and Jay?
So Winter pulled Jay to the side because at some part of the episode, they were all at the pool and Jay and Winter were having a great time. Then Joy rolls in. And so Jay has to give Joy the attention because Jay has probably chosen Joy. Joy, by the way, Joy is beautiful with her hair, and I think it's because of you. Because you have the hair. I think she's beautiful. And when I look at her hair, because your hair is like...
I never wear my hair that big, though.
But you wear it big.
I don't wear it that big.
But still, though.
But I think Joy is beautiful.
I think you're beautiful, too.
Thank you.
No problem.
Joy is beautiful. And from what we've seen, Joy has a great personality.
Yeah.
So, like, she has two things working for her.
Joy is that popular girl.
Yeah. So, Tommy described Joy as the popular girl in school that every guy could have a chance with.
Every guy.
Not like in the negative sense of she going, but like literally like she would date the lame guy or she would date the popular guy in school.
Right.
Like as long as he treats her well, she's like, I don't care.
Right.
He like me and I love him.
Right, exactly. But she's like the popular girl.
Right.
Like everybody thinks she's cute. Everybody.
And she has a calming spirit about her, which I wanted to get into with one of her dates, but we can go into that once you finish.
She went on a date.
She did. You want to go into that?
Yeah.
You don't finish up where you were.
Because I'm gonna get thrown off.
You are, okay.
But so Winter and Jay, Jay pauses everything, seems like in Winter's eyes, pauses everything to talk to Joy. So Winter invites Jay into her room to talk. And somebody, Simone.
Oh, hating Simone. Just some S's today. Simone and Shay.
In the hallway, noticing that they went in the room. So, later on in the episode, Joy and Jay is sitting. We don't know what they talked about in the room. We just know they went into the room together and closed the door. And then you see Simone standing outside in her PJs like, well, what's going on?
Well, I thought that it doesn't matter what they were talking about because they grown and not in relationships. I'm talking about to Simone.
Yeah.
But I think that for things to look better, it could have been, let's go somewhere else on the property. Because like one thing that we've noticed is the area by the lake, nobody's over there.
Yeah.
Because like nobody was around Chris and Naya when they went on their date. Nobody was around Alex and Brian when they went on their date. If you just wanted to go somewhere and be away from people, that would have been the place that I would have selected.
Yeah. But so later on in the episode, Joy and Jay sitting on the couch, talking to each other, having casual conversation about, getting to know each other better. And here comes Simone running in saying, hey, Jay, you went to Winter's room. What's up with that? I feel like Simone was completely out of line and
she was trying to throw some salt out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she and Joy are cool, I guess. And she was trying to look out for Joy. But
I don't feel like that's a look out for Joy moment.
It was. I don't think it was either. But I'm saying, like, I'm wondering if that was the intention.
All these people are going to talk to each other, are going to try to get to know each other because they're trying to choose.
They're trying to be chose.
A lot of them have been chose.
Yeah.
But what were you saying about Joy?
So Edwin and Joy went out on a date.
Okay.
You remember that? I listed that they talked about therapy. And we found out in that moment that Edwin had been in the military. Edwin had been, was it a police officer?
I think so. Either police training or police officer.
Yeah. And he was talking about how he cooks his way through his PTSD and his trauma, which makes sense because he's a chef. But just like, I felt like they made a connection in that moment because they were able to talk about her past, her divorce, her working her way through all of the issues from that divorce, because it's not necessarily that she was the issue, but when you leave a long-term relationship, you assess a lot of things. And her just working through all those things and having that connection with Edwin. And I felt like that was the first time that we got to see Joy and Edwin make connections with people that felt genuine.
Right.
And not just, oh, she pretty, I'm going to sit here and talk to her. Mostly Joy.
Yeah.
But that's all I had for them.
Yeah. I think it was great conversation. And you saw a lot now that people are trying to branch off from the people that they originally chose.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to actually get to know other people just to see how it goes. Does anybody mesh well and everything like that?
You don't want your rug pulled from under your feet.
Nah, I get it.
Because like you look at Adriana, who last week, both of her top two were on the chopping block. I don't know how Raymond was in her top two, but that's another story for another day. That is a totally different story for another day.
What?
But both of her guys were on the chopping block, and then she had to find a new runner up this week, which was Calfani.
Yeah.
Why can't I get his name right?
I don't know.
But last thing that I wrote down, because we already talked about the bottom two that I wrote, was that Adriana addressed Denise about Rashid. And
I just honestly, I felt like that was a pointless conversation.
It was a pointless conversation, and I felt like Denise basically told her, mind your business, little girl. Right. Please add the little girl. Because that's how I felt like she was talking to her.
Rashid liked it that she did that.
He did. He appreciated it. And I think that brought her stock up for him.
Man, he had already chose her.
No, but I'm saying if anybody had anything to say about putting Adriana off the resort, he was definitely coming in after that.
Right, of course.
And I don't think that anything that Denise has done has gotten her in the position of being saved, because even she likes Calfani, and she had a conversation with him about being upset that Adriana took him away and they were on the couch cozy up.
She was big mad when that happened.
Mm-hmm. What you big say?
Mad.
Fire
hot. 38 special.
But yeah, that's all I got for this episode.
I think it was a great episode. I wish we could have gotten to the eliminating part, but
they like to keep us in suspense.
Right. They're keeping us in suspense.
Do you think it's going to get
Denise?
Home? I mean, it's two people.
Denise and Alicia.
Okay.
Or Shay's going to be there. I saw on the preview.
Nobody knows that Shay was the one that told Alicia. At this point. Yeah.
Yeah, that is right. So I think Alicia's going to go home. Mm-hmm. Denise and Alicia.
I agree with you. I feel like Denise is going to go home over the aggression and colorism thing, because she also made the colorism comment in front of the wrong person.
Who's?
Nephew Tommy.
Yeah, she did.
She made
I don't think that's like, she could say whatever.
She can say whatever she wants to, but like he felt offended because he was like, I'm light skinned and in a frat too. It's like, don't generalize.
They in the same frat.
Exactly. Like, don't generalize them for being light skinned and in a frat. Like,
yeah,
it is what it is.
She made a huge mistake with bringing that up. Like, it's a deep, dark issue that she has with herself, and she's projecting it onto another person. If you see the traits and everything like that, you stay away from that person. Mm-hmm. These other people are trying to find love. Maybe that person is for somebody else, but don't try to stop them from finding it, when you're bothered by it. So I think that's why she's going to go home. And then with Alicia,
I feel like Alicia is looking for a daddy for her kids, not a husband for herself.
Yeah. She did say, like, she's just tired. Like, the question Brian asked her was, why? Mm-hmm. Like, why are you on this show? And she basically was saying she's tired of being alone.
Yeah. But
a single mom is basically what she said.
But like everything that she talks about, and I get it, you're a parent. I've never been a single parent, but I am a mom at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And if you and I were not together and I was dating, I would not be looking for someone to be Lily's dad.
Right.
Lily has a father. I would
Right.
be looking for a mate for myself. Like, what are we doing here?
I get you.
Like, I feel like she's looking for a dad for her kids and someone to like take care of her, but she can't just say her because she has to group in her kids with it. But instead of saying that she's looking for a spouse, it feels very, my kids need a daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you be okay, daddy. Come on. Like I pick you.
Nah, I get that. But I just feel like she didn't, like she went at Brian and then like that's really been the only person we've seen her like show interest in, so far that I can remember. I feel like she showed
David, but she sent him back.
I feel like she showed interest in David, but that didn't work out. Like in this episode, she only showed interest in Brian, and Brian and Alex got it going on. So
maybe she should have tried with Raymond.
Nah,
they could have had 7. Oh, they did. She talked about it.
She talked about that. So
never mind.
That was one of the big issues there. So that's who I picked to go home.
I agree.
Oh, and another thing, I don't think Edwin and Shay will be able to talk or be able to mesh well together because Shay doesn't like Edwin. Edwin got real deep in conversation with some of the people I don't remember who I was there.
Mm-hmm.
They were by the pool and they were talking about police brutality and the situations that's going on now. So, and Shay got up and left and was like, "This is too much for me. I don't want to talk about it. I
remember that.
It makes me go get down and sad about stuff. And I'm not trying to be sad, but that's
It's real life.
Yeah, it's like a very important conversation to have. And it's, I feel like everybody should really be having this conversation because we do have a misunderstanding in America. And a lot of times people look at Americans like, what is wrong with y'all? So it's a deep rooted history behind all that. So and Edwin said that. Mm-hmm. He was like, if you're going to be with me, this is what we're going to talk about because I'm passionate about that subject.
Which makes full sense. Former police officer.
Right.
He was in the military.
Right.
So he's been treated right and wrong on both sides of it. Because like the military is celebrated, but they're also treated badly.
Yeah.
Like when they come home as black men.
Yeah.
And then same for police officers. Like they could be treated well as an officer amongst other officers, but when they come back home, they still a police officer. So
Right. So I get it. So I made that conclusion that they wouldn't talk to each other.
I could see that.
Yep.
So bottom 3, and we're just going to add Shay into those 2.
Shay in
so
there.
one of those, 2 of those 3 is going home.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. So that's it for
Ready to Love.
Season 3, episode 4, called Boss Moves. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell, and comment down below. Let us know which 2 ladies you think are going to get sent home this week.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
All right. Bye, guys.
Peace.